one key word about OTAs that now we're going to dive into is they're voluntary, right? They're not mandatory. Players are not, required to show up. This is the time of year where a lot of veterans opt out. They say, no, I'm good. I'll see you guys at the mandatory mini camp, which is the last thing here. It's not next week, but the week after. And yeah, they skip out on these OTAs, and it just creates a big crap storm amongst the fan base. And it always starts with one guy, and it's Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett always skips OTAs. It's just what he does. And every year, fans freak out about, and this guy's not a good leader. He should be there with his team. And then you got the opposing views that are saying it's no big deal. It's just voluntary. Who cares? So we got a voicemail here from Andrew Jackson that will kick off this discussion, and then we'll see what you guys think about it.
What's going on, guys? It's Andrew Jackson here. And see, all the stuff about Myles not being at OTAs is ridiculous. Like, people up in arms saying that he's a bad leader, bad this, bad that. I mean, sure, optics might not look good after the off-season media tour he had, but we don't know if he had this pre-scheduled. And not like he owes us or the Browns owe us any kind of explanation. And two, I mean, who knows? Who cares if the guy even requested a day off from work? Because I'm pretty sure we all have at one point in time. But speaking of that, I mean, he's not getting paid to show up. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't work for free. So yes, I understand, if you have not a roster bonus, but a workout bonus in your contract and you have to be at OTAs, that's fine. You go do that. I'm sure Myles doesn't. Regardless, I don't think it's a big deal, and I think people losing sleep over it and throwing temper tantrums online about it. I don't care. Literally zero to give. Because I know Myles is going to show up most of the time. There's going to be maybe a player or two he doesn't, but regardless, it's no big deal for me. Well, anyway, love you guys.
All right, so do you guys agree? We'll start here with Kenny on this one. Do you agree with Andrew? Because it is a split. You see the fans who say it's a big deal, he needs to be there, and they're very upset about the fact he's not there. And then you see the other side of it, like Andrew, where they're like, that's really not that big of a deal. What do you think, Kenny?
Yeah, so I think because of the media tour, he should be there on one hand. However, our defensive line, specifically our defensive ends, need a lot of work. I don't need him taking any reps away from players that need it at this point, especially since it's like 4 days into OTAs. I would way rather a guy like Alex Wright take his reps, all of his reps, because he didn't play for most of the year last year. McGuire, take all his reps. Anybody else underneath that, I would love to have them take all the reps. Other than that, Myles, go to your anime awards, have a blast. I know that you can do the job. The defensive MVP of the league says that you can. I don't know if he's not a coach. The coaches are there to coach. He's there to sack people and pressure. That's it.
No, I agree, Kenny. I think at first, when I first saw it, I was like, well, same like you said, like the optics are like, well, we spent all off season hearing about leadership and, being more present. And we're like, well, here we go. All right. But then I really thought about it and I was like, it doesn't really matter. The dude's never really done any of these for the most part, and he goes out and dominates. So what does it really matter? And I love what you were talking about as far as reps, like for the younger guys. I think you touched on something really, really important there because, we think that with the defense is good and we think that the defensive line could be very, very stellar, but do we 100%? Can we really just say, yes, it's going to be great? No, we don't know that. So let those guys get those reps. Let's see if there's a guy that, maybe a hidden gem down there, somebody that we can bring up. That's where I'm at with it. I'm cool. I have no worries about what Myles' abilities are going to be at week 1 because he skipped a voluntary workout. I'm right there with you. Just kind of pointless.
Myles Garrett's not fighting for a roster spot. So, he's not fighting for his, role in the rotation on the defensive line. It's there. He's the highest paid non-quarterback in the league, or at least until Jamar Chase got his contract. But yeah, I agree. Myles Garrett has, and I get the optics. Like, if fans are upset about the optics of him not being there, okay, like there's an argument there. I totally understand all that. But Myles Garrett he's never been a leader, like a vocal rah, rah, I'm going to bring everybody around me and show you how it's done. And this is how we work here as Cleveland Brown. Like, he's not that kind of leader. The dude's 30 years old. He's pushing a decade in the league. It's not going to change. Like, he's not going to suddenly just, hey, I got a big contract, so now I'm going to change my entire personality. It's just not, it's not going to happen. This isn't who he is.
Yeah, his leadership aspect of this is through his play. The guy goes out and dominates like hell every freaking game for the most part, you know. And when he's not dominating, he's eating up 2 or 3 guys and letting other guys hopefully get the ability to do that. And I don't think it matters.
What you guys are talking about with the reps, I love that conversation because these are OTAs. We're talking about 2 or 3 practices, like Kenny said, 2-hour windows max, each one of these over a 2-week span. He's not missing very much in the grand scheme of things. Training camp is a long period of time throughout the summer. He's going to be there for training camp the whole time. He's going to get his reps with these guys. We need McGuire. We need Wright. We need these guys getting reps now early on. We need, like, on the offensive line, Joel Bitonio is not there. Wyatt Teller's not there. Jack Conklin's not there. Are these guys not good leaders? Are they not good teammates? I mean, I need Zach Zinter out there getting reps right now and getting work. DeJuan Jones.
Everybody says David Njoku is pretty much Cleveland Browns.
He's not there.
Mascot right now. He's not there. So what? So if we're not making a big deal about that, why are we making a big deal about Myles Garrett? Why does it always have to be? We just have to like hyper focus on little things. It's right. Irrelevant.
Now, guy. Go ahead, Kenny.
I was going to say, you're probably going to say this right now. The guy I'm more concerned about is the guy that has a 1-year contract and it's one of our weakest positions, and is Deontay Johnson.
Exactly.
I was going to say that, were you not?
Yes.
And I'm like, just, you're paying kind of as a head case. I really don't know the guy, or anything like that, but you're paying as kind of a head case and you don't show up. I get that he's good at breaking in and out of routes, but you don't know the offense. Nobody knows the offense because we're not sure how they're really changing it. But you're coming in new and you got a 1-year contract, prove it contract, and you're not there. That boggles my mind.
That's whenever I saw Deontay Johnson wasn't there, again, it's voluntary. I understand. It's up to your discretion. If you don't want to come, you don't want to come. Why the hell are you not there? That's what it makes no sense. Like Kenny's saying, you're not only is it a 1-year contract, you're on a vet minimum. You are roster fodder. You can be chopped, cut, and just sealed away for nothing to the Browns. And if you get cut by the Browns, you're probably not getting signed by anybody after what happened to you last season. The Browns took a chance on you. I doubt another team, at least right away, is come calling, knocking on your door.
I agree. That was, I don't know if we're going into players that were missing, but that was the one guy that stood out to me when I saw the list. That was the one I was like, I really wish he would have been there. Yeah. Like, make a statement, And like Kenny said, I don't know the guy personally. When he was with Pittsburgh, couldn't stand the guy because he was just very, very good for them for the most part. You know what I mean? He had his moments where he wasn't great and made, drop balls and did silly things. But for the most part, that guy was a menace for a good while with the Steelers. So it would have been nice to see him there. Would have been cool to just kind of maybe for a couple weeks go, well, we might not have to worry about this. But who knows? Like you said, he's a vet, though. You know what I mean? Same thing. He's a vet. Hopefully he's, got the playbook and he's ready to go come, mini camp and everything. But yikes.
Yeah, it could be a whole lot of hubbub about nothing.
Correct.
Well,
yeah.
It could be. Just situationally, it's easy to just roll the blanket statement over these guys, say, well, they're all vets, it's all okay. Not every vet is created equal here. We're all individuals. I mean, Deontay Johnson is not Myles Garrett. He does not have the contract. He does not have this job security, all that stuff. So it was interesting that a guy seeking to revive his career and prove it to a new team, he's not there. But I mean, he was there for the workouts, a couple weeks ago and all that stuff. So I mean, it's not like he's been completely absent.